Hello guys, welcome back to the another session in human nervous system. This time I am here to explain about human brain. Human brain. Brain is a term we can use in English, but scientific name of brain is encephalon. N inside, endo, just like that. Inside, encephalon. Cepha means head. Inside the head, there is an important organ is existing that is called brain. So, brain scientific name is encephalon. If you say some features about the brain, brain protected by or in skull. Inside the skull, brain is protected. Brain covered by 3 layers called meninges. Meninges is the term which refers brain layers. Suppose it is the human brain and this is the spinal cord, together central nervous system. Around the central nervous system, both brain and spinal cord, there is a first layer and second layer as well as third layer. 3 layers are present. Outermost layer is called dura mater. Dura mater. Dura means hard. Matter means mother. It is a hard layer, just like protecting structure. And middle layer is arachnoid membrane. Arachnoid membrane. We can call it, this is second layer and this is first layer. Innermost layer, which is closer to the brain, the third one, pia mater. Again, mater means mother, protective part. Pia means soft. Dura means hard. So, exterior to interior, arrangement of layers in the meninges, nothing but 3 layers. Dura mater, arachnoid membrane, pia mater. In case of the question, layers arrangement from interior to exterior, then it will be vice versa. Pia mater, arachnoid membrane and dura mater. Below the pia mater or between the pia mater and arachnoid membrane, there is a space, is called subarachnoid space. In the subarachnoid space, means below the arachnoid layer, there will be a fluid is called cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid, a fluid that is a fluid nature that flows around the brain and spinal cord, which protects brain from shocks and injuries. So, skull protects the brain physically and physiologically the fluid helps to reduce the suspensions and shocks. Another important point, it is about 1300 to 1400 grams in body weight. Clear? Brain has 3 important parts: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Actually, if you see the embryonic brain, it is a disc-like structure. Like this. This will be developed into and then this is the first part, this is second part, this is third part. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this is E for our understanding concept. A is proencephalon, B is diencephalon, C is mesoencephalon, D is metaencephalon, E is meencephalon. So this is A and B together is called forebrain. It is also called proencephalon. Midbrain, mesencephalon. This is in adult brain parts. These two together is called rhombencephalon. Rhombencephalon. Mesencephalon, metencephalon. This. The proencephalon, nothing but forebrain. Mesencephalon, nothing but midbrain. Rhombencephalon, nothing but hindbrain. The major parts we will see for our better idea. I am developing a diagram over here. See, entire this part is forebrain, this is midbrain, this is hindbrain together. This structure I am going to elaborate now. So this is about the general structure of brain. Inside the brain, if you want to know every part, we need to go for the transverse section. It is look like this. Let us say transverse section of brain and innermost parts that are executed by forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, nothing but proencephalon, mesencephalon and rhombencephalon in detail. Diagram part is also very important. Just follow. This kind of a hemisphere you draw first. Later, this is a corpus callosum which separates two cerebral hemispheres. So entire this part is forebrain. Forebrain consists of so many folds. To extend the area, the surface have a lot of folds. These are called gyri and sulci. Right? Very easy actually. Some people will feel very tough. The human brain diagram actually. Just observe how easy it is. The folds, as per your convenience, you can draw. Like this. Why all these folds are there in the brain surface? Because to extend the neurons number. So if it is plain, less number of neurons are executed, whereas if it is curvy and it increases the surface area. As surface area is increased, then huge number of neurons can be occupied. Like this, so many folds are there. Actually, outer surface of the brain is grey in color. Inner surface, inner portion of the brain is white in color. If you ask me the reasons, neurons, cytons are present outside. As inside the cytons, Nissl granules are present. Nistal granules are representing gray color. That's why, as all cytons are executing outer portion of the brain is gray color. Inner portion, lot of axons are pending. Axons are present in the inner side. Axons have a myelin sheath, which is fat layer, that is white color, adipose tissue. So that inner side of the brain is white color. Reason, axon regions are present. Outer side of the brain, outer portion of the brain is gray color because axons, cytons, nothing but neurons, cytons are present. Now, so this is gray portion, whatever it is. The surface is also little wavy, not plain. Like this. If you see, the up is called gyri and the furrow is called sulci. Gyri and sulci, up and down folds. That's it. If it is long, sulci is a furrow. Then the entire this portion, what you have seen in this blue color which is represented, is completely forebrain. Now, if you see, this is midbrain. Red color portion is midbrain, and this is pons varolii, and this is cerebellum. Cerebellum. Is also called little brain, and this is pons. Okay, now let me label it first. This is called cerebrum, major part of the forebrain. This is from proencephalon, and this is corpus callosum, which separates two cerebellar hemispheres by nerve bundles groove. Corpus callosum is a groove which separates right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere. Means cerebrum is round portion, sphere portion, which is separated by corpus callosum. Then this is right cerebral hemisphere. This is left cerebral hemisphere. Right and left cerebral hemispheres are separated by a groove-like structure, a bundle-like structures. More than 200 nerve bundles are executed in that. That is called corpus callosum. Then next, if you see, this is called thalamus. Thalamus. And this is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Above the thalamus, there is a part is called epithalamus. Epithalamus. Epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus. Thalamus is like this. Above that, epithalamus. Below that, hypothalamus. All these three are called diencephalon. Diencephalon. This is called proencephalon. Proencephalon and diencephalon together is called forebrain. Forebrain. Understand? Forebrain consists of two parts. One is proencephalon, another one is diencephalon. Proencephalon consists of cerebellum and the gray matter, outer portion, gray matter, and cerebrum, corpus callosum, and white matter. Everything is present in proencephalon. Inner to the white matter, epithalamus, thalamus, hypothalamus. These three are present. And the above portion, above this reticular region, is called forebrain. Each and every part function I will discuss later. First, let me give you anatomic structure of brain. I hope you understand in a simple manner what is forebrain. Clear. Next, come to know about the second region of the brain that I marked with the red color. This is midbrain. Midbrain. This midbrain consists of corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina. They have 4 lobes of them. All together, structure is called corpora quadrigemina. Quader 4. Upper 2 are called superior coliculi. Lower 2, if suppose it is AB, if it is a CD, AB together is called superior coliculi. CD together is called inferior coliculi. Superior coliculi is meant for visual reflexes. Visual reflexes. Inferior coliculi is auditory reflexes. Helps in auditory reflexes. Both are involuntary. Both are involuntary in function. They are not in our control. Involuntary. Next, in the midbrain, there was a cerebral aqueduct which is present. This is called cerebral aqueduct. Inside that, cerebrospinal fluid is flows, which connects ventricles, means empty places in the brain. These two are important parts. Optic chiasma is also present in the midbrain. In the medical terminology, you can understand. For NEET syllabus, according to NCERT, it is enough. Actually, brain anatomy we can explain more than 5 hours. But anatomy you require only for crack NEET questions. It's enough. Now, this is second portion. Forebrain you have seen. This is first portion of the brain, and midbrain, that is second portion of the brain. Let us see the third portion. That is, this part is called pons varolii, and this is called cerebellum, and this is called medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. These three together called hindbrain. Hindbrain below. The third part. This is a primary idea. Please have a primary idea about brain structure and parts. I repeat, human brain consists of 3 regions, 3 parts. First, forebrain. Second, midbrain. Third, hindbrain. Forebrain consists of proencephalon and diencephalon. Midbrain consists of corpora quadrigemina and cerebral aqueduct. Hindbrain consists of pons varolii, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Generally, a question comes, what is brainstem? What is brainstem? Midbrain and hindbrain together is called brainstem. Midbrain plus hindbrain together is called brainstem, which supports brain ventral. And in the forebrain, ventrally there are olfactory lobes are present. In this section, you cannot see ventral side. If it is the structure, then if you see below this, if this is the structure, you can represent, and this side there are 2 lobes like structures are present. They are called olfactory lobes. I will write here. This side. What are the olfactory lobes are present? Ventral side of forebrain. This is important point. Where olfactory lobes are present? Ventral side of the forebrain only. In this picture, in the lateral transverse lateral section, you cannot observe, I cannot execute ventral part. Ventral part below part. So, what is brainstem? Midbrain and hindbrain together is called brainstem. What are olfactory lobes? Lobes that helps in the smelling. They are present in forebrain, ventral side. This is idea, very primary idea about the forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain total. Each and every one now I will explain. First, forebrain. Forebrain, also called proencephalon. Proencephalon. It consists of gray matter, white matter, gray matter, cerebrum, and white matter. White matter is innermost part, inner portion. Gray matter is outer portion, surface. Surface. This consists of ups and downs. Ups called gyri, downs called sulci. They increase surface area of the brain. That's it. To consist of number of neurons, more neurons. Now cerebrum, largest part of forebrain. That's why forebrain is also represented by cerebrum sometimes. Forebrain is also called cerebrum. Brain is called encephalon. Brain is called encephalon, but the forebrain is called cerebrum. Okay. Then what exactly the cerebrum consists of? Cerebrum consists of cerebral hemispheres. Suppose this is cerebrum, which is sphere in shape, round structure, and which is equally divided by many number of nerve bundles. Then these nerve bundles are separating right and left hemispheres. I use the term here hemisphere. Actually, full structure is called hemisphere. Sphere. And when we cut it into equal halves, one is hemisphere. If it is my sphere, nothing but my forebrain, cerebrum, then this is left, this is right. So this is left cerebral hemisphere, and this is right cerebral hemisphere. Short form RCH, short form LCH. All the actions of our right side body parts are controlled by left cerebral hemisphere. Vice versa, all our left side body parts works are under control by right cerebral hemisphere, opposite in actions. In each, this is called frontal lobe, this is called temporal lobe, this is called occipital lobe, this is called parietal lobe. Let me write one side, let me write for our understanding. I am erasing this part. Yeah, this is called frontal lobe. Frontal lobe is meant for ideas, so that it is called idea center, creativity, planning, thinking, and all. So when we think of something, part of a question, when you are go through a question, then you will think like this. So automatically your hand is going to the frontal lobe, whether this side or this side, according to your right hand activities. The forelobe, frontal lobe, and this is parietal lobe. Parietal lobe. Parietal lobe is the center of registrations. Center of registrations. All the senses are being registered in the parietal lobe, whereas this is second one, this is first one, this is second one. This is third one, temporal lobe, near the ear. This is part is temporal lobe. Temporal lobe. Temporal lobe is also called auditory lobe. Auditory centers are present. Whenever you listen some sounds, the sounds will be registered over there. Next time if you listen the same sound, you will recognize. But because all those sounds here and here, right side is there, left side is there. All the lobes which I am representing here present both right side and left side. This is right frontal lobe, like this is left frontal lobe. This is right parietal lobe, this is left parietal lobe. And this is right temporal lobe, this is left temporal lobe. And the last one, this is right occipital lobe. Occipital lobe. Occipital lobe have visual centers. Visual centers. Whatever you capture, whatever you see, it will be stored in the visual. That's why it's also called visual lobe. Auditory lobe, sounds, and also what called maps and routes. So once you've gone through a place, next time if you see the same place, you will recognize all the things, activities you have done before met. So temporal lobe is also auditory center and maps and routes. Clear? Occipital lobe is visual center. Clear? So when you capture a picture through the eye, by the retina, they will be sent to optic nerve to optical lobe, they are going to be stored. So guys, again I am telling all these four lobes are present right side as well as left side. That's why all the right, if it is all these are the right side, then they control the left side body activities. If all they are left side, they control right side body activities. Now, so you have gone through about the cerebrum, mainly the functions present in the different lobes in the cerebral hemispheres. And deeper to the cerebral hemispheres, there will be basal nuclei is present. Basal nuclei. Basal nuclei means in the white matter, mainly axons are present. Group of axons are forming a bundle-like structures. They are called nuclei. Their main function is stereotypic functions. Stereotypic functions. Long prolonged activities are controlled by this central cell wall. The lastly, white matter. The white matter consists of basal nuclei, and below that diencephalon is present. Diencephalon we can also call as floor of the forebrain. Let us see about diencephalon now. Diencephalon. So, if this is the thalamus, above the thalamus there is a epithalamus. Below the thalamus there is a hypothalamus. In the given diagram of textbook, you can observe in a different manner. This is a schematic representation to understand logics. Epithalamus, also called biological clock. Biological clock. 12 hours a day and 12 hours night is decided by this portion. This epithalamus releases a hormone called melatonin. When this melatonin hormone is released, at that time light is absent. Means in the absence of light, this hormone will be released, so the body is under inactivation. Actually, in the daytime, sunlight will be present. In the sunlight, this hormone will not be released, so that basal metabolic rate will be good. Our body is in activity. Whereas this hormone secretions are suppressed under the absence of light. So that it decides 12 hours day activeness of body and 12 hours night inactiveness of our body. Now thalamus, it is called relay center. Relay center means what? Very important part. Very first class of the nervous system, I told you, afferent neurons and efferent neurons. Somatic nervous system only consists of nerve fibers. Afferent neurons that are started in body parts go to central nervous system. Through this means they want to pass so many body parts, and they want to, the destination is brain, but before going to deliver the senses into the in the brain, they must go through this place. That is the efferent fibers, as well as efferent nerve fibers. If you see, they start from brain and goes to body parts. Even they are passing from the brain, they touch this part. So thalamus is the relay center. Both efferent and efferent neurons are passing through that point. It is a checkpoint of the nerve impulse. Next, hypothalamus, most important part of the forebrain. It is also floor of the forebrain and floor of the diencephalon. What I say? Diencephalon is the bottom of forebrain. Of course, if it is forebrain, this is diencephalon, this is hypothalamus. So, forebrain floor is diencephalon, diencephalon floor is hypothalamus. So, your bottom is foot, bottom foot is slipper, like that. What is the function of hypothalamus? Why I am highlighting this part such big? Because hypothalamus is also endocrine part. Endocrine part. Pituitary gland is connected with this, like this. This is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland controls all other glands in our body. Pituitary gland is controlled under hypothalamus. If you think pituitary gland is master of the endocrine system, master of hormonal system, then hypothalamus is headmaster or master of the master in endocrine system. Hypothalamus controls hunger, anger, emotions, sexual behavior, etc. Sexual urge, hungerness, emotions, motivations, a lot. In the white matter of the forebrain, as we are discussing forebrain only, in the white matter of the forebrain, there are some parts of the amygdala. Amygdala is just like a almond fruit shape. Almond fruit shape, which controls moods. Center of moods. Center of moods. In a day, morning to evening, we will feel different moods. Sad, good, proud, jealous, some different moods. All the swinging of moods is under control by amygdala. So, amygdala is under almond fruit shape, which is also present in white matter. Then another one is there, that is called hippocampus. Hippocampus is another part which is present in the white portion, inner portion of the forebrain, then which is in fork shape. This is called memory center. Memory center, also called hard disk. Hard disk of our body. We can feel n number of GB, okay, as our memory in this part. There is no limit. Gigabytes, terabytes of knowledge we can store it. Some people will think I don't have such memory, I have very less memory. Impossible. Why? Because hippocampus is the same in every person. We should think like that. This is memory called center of storage of memory. And some intermediate areas are present. Intermediate areas are present. Here, sensory, motory, and intermediate neurons are also processed. That's why it's called intermediate areas. The functions of intermediate areas is sensory functions, motor functions, sometimes both. All these are present in white matter. Bottom of the white diencephalon is present. Bottom of the diencephalon, hypothalamus is present. Hypothalamus and limbic system, very important. What is limbic system? I didn't explain limbic system, right? Very easy. Hippocampus and amygdala together called limbic system. What does it mean? Amygdala have its own function, that is controlling of moods. Hippocampus has its own function, that is controlling of saving of memory. These two together have a function. That system is called limbic system. Limbic system helps in motivation and excitement. Limbic system plus hypothalamus do emotional works, motivational works, excitement works, so many things. No need to confuse. Amygdala have its individual function. It is the almond fruit shape. Hippocampus has its own function. It is independently doing some functions called storage of memory. These two, what are the two? Amygdala plus hippocampus together called limbic system. Limbic system also have some works independently. They are sexual urge, sexual behavior, motivation and all. Limbic system plus hypothalamus together controls motivation and excitement. All together is about forebrain. Midbrain, hindbrain and spinal cord together in next class I will explain. Thank you.